Hello, thank you for joining me today on Everyday Life in Finance with Robbie. I'm Robbie, and on this channel, we talk about finance and how it impacts you and what you can do about it. So, if you like this content, this type of content, and want to hear more, please like, share, and subscribe. So let's start by talking about the past several days. The past several days have been tumultuous, to say the least. And it's difficult to hear and watch what's going on. And this all started, we knew that tariffs were coming, but when the tariffs were announced on April 2nd, 2025, things got out of control. The stock market plummeted. Retirement plans, retirement funds plummeted. People exited the stock market, tremendously. Companies lost billions of dollars, in net worth, so it's been really, really a difficult time. And we're constantly hearing the economists saying one thing, the current administration saying something else. And you need to be prepared. I talk about this all the time. Now, we knew that the tariffs were coming. We've had tariffs, it's not like we didn't have any tariffs in place, but we knew that there were going to be some changes in the tariffs, but we had no idea of the severity of what was going to come on April 2nd. So that's basically what happened. People knew it was coming, but did not realize or did not expect that it was going to be, as global as it was. I mean, just about every country, even countries that don't export to us, were impacted severely. And this is really, creating a problem for the U.S. economy. It's also creating a problem with, countries that, we've had a good relationship with, over the years. I know, some people are spinning this by saying, oh, they've been taking advantage of us for years, but we have to face, reality. The U.S. is not a country that manufactures goods. We don't have a great manufacturing infrastructure in place. Yes, we do manufacture some things, but not extensively. That's not what we're known for. We're more of a service industry. We provide services to other countries and so forth. Yes, we do provide some goods, but not a lot. We're more set up to provide services, cloud services. We are, in the tech space tremendously. So people, look for us with respect to technology. And sometimes you have to stay in your lane. If you're not set up that way, you can't just rush out and say, oh, we're going to tariff everything because we don't like what you're charging. But then you don't have a backup plan, to figure out how are we going to manufacture these things domestically in the US so that, our, people are not affected and aren't subjected to high taxes. So I'm not going to go into the economics of it all because I could talk economics and finance all day, but I just want to talk about what you should do. Now, as I said, this was not, it was anticipated, but the severity of it, was not anticipated. The level of tariffs that were imposed, the increases are unprecedented, even higher than what we saw, during the, when the tariff increase in the 1930s created the Great Depression. This is even worse. So I just want to help you to get prepped for this, figure out what you need to do. So first things first, if, and again, speak with your financial professional because I'm not giving you, I'm giving you, my opinion. I'm not giving you advice for your specific financial plan, financial portfolio. So, but I just want you to consider these things. So first things first, with any investments, any stocks that you have, 401ks and so forth, because the market has plummeted so much thus far, you know, the other day, the market went down 2,200 points. The day before, the market went down 1,600 points. Now is not the time to really sell, you know, because you're going to suffer, you may suffer, you know, a tremendous loss. So if you don't need the money right away and you can, you know, leave it there, leave your stocks, leave your account in place, and you don't need it within the next, you know, 1 to 3 years, leave it there. The market will recover. It will take some time, but it will recover. So that's the one thing. Don't panic and sell everything. I know you want to because you're scared that it may go down tremendously, but now is not the time, because right now what we're dealing with is a falling knife. We don't know, you know, where the bottom is, but if you don't need this money, leave it there for now. If you need it, you may have to sell, you know, that's the bottom line. But if you can, you know, do something to weather the storm, do it. So the one thing that I don't want you to do is panic. I don't want you to be fearful. I've talked about this on many of my videos. You have to really plan. You plan for the good times and you plan for the bad times. So now is the time to cut back on spending. I know prices are going to go up. Let's face it, they're going to go up. But find ways to cut back on spending, you know, buy domestically, locally. Now may not be the time to purchase a new car and things about it. I know people are running out and trying to get ahead and purchasing before the tariffs actually go into effect. But now is not the time to be making, you know, big purchases. You want to really hold on to your income, hold on to your savings, and just really be prudent about how you spend your money. So now is the time to make a plan and figure out what you're going to do, what you can do to cut back expenses and just weather this storm, because it will get better. So I'm here to tell you just a plan, figure out what you can do to trim your expenses, keep things down, nothing big. If you've already scheduled things, like people have scheduled trips, by all means take them, but minimize what you're going to spend on those vacations and so forth once you're there. You know, if you've already purchased your tickets, paid for your hotel and things like that, sure, you're going to take that trip, but just try to minimize what you spend while you're on the trip and enjoy it. Life, every day is precious. You don't get it back. So just because someone did something that, you know, may not have been in the best interest of the Americans, you know, maybe long term they're looking at, oh, long term this is going to be fine, but what do we do in the short term? What do we do in the immediate term? What do we do? So just because someone does that does not mean that your life is over. It does not mean that you stop living. You still live, but you just have to really watch and be careful about what you do. So just plan how you're going to spend money, cut back on certain things where you can, and just go from there. Now is not the time to, you know, to panic. It's time to plan. So thank you for joining me today. If you like this content, please come back and join us for more Everyday Life and Finance with Robbie. And thank you for joining us.